This man has nothing to prove, the guy who tells me this. He's not trying to do dawah, he's not trying to convince me of anything. He's a very simple, lovely man, his son. And his daughter-in-law was who I was following. There's nothing to prove, nothing to invent. And he's just telling me this is the way it is. And so they buried him. Yeah. Now, may their souls rest in peace. My parents, I saw them when they were dying and afterwards, and it wasn't like that. The majority of people, they die in agony and they go, oh yeah, listen to this. This is the best. So I looked up, I want to see the scientific basis. I'm trained as a scientist. What is this rigor mortis that people talk about? You know, everyone heard about rigor mortis. When does rigor mortis, because I saw this on my parents. Rigor mortis, the body gets all kind of twisted and, you know, and the mouth gets a strange expression like of agony or something. And it's like, the rigor mortis occurs between 2 and 6 hours. So this is 16 hours later and there's no rigor mortis that's set in. Yeah, he's still fine. This is a sign of sanctity, of sainthood. But listen to the best. This is just part of the critique of the scientific community. So the scientists noticed, not the scientists, the doctors noticed, that in young people and in infants, in young children and in infants, they don't get rigor mortis.
They like angels, you know.
Why would they not get rigor mortis?
Innocent.
Yes, innocent. They haven't had time to do anything wrong or to sin. So what does the scientists say? The anatomists, I guess. They say, rigor mortis may not be perceivable in infant and child corpses due to their smaller muscle mass. Wala hawla wala quwwata. You see, these people, they're stuck in a materialist model. They can't acknowledge the existence of spiritual reality. Okay. So that's the process of death. And we would all, I guess, want to die in that fashion. In peace, being ready for the next world. I'm going to use the last few minutes because we're talking about 3 stages. The stage of life, the stage of dying, and then the after death. Now, one of the best, clearest reports of after death are from these near-death experiences. So this is what we have to look forward to if we live our life properly. Peu importe combien on a souffert. Peut-être même c'est bien de souffrir. Mais peu importe. These are the winners. Okay? The winners are not the Trumps who have billions of dollars and are presidents or CEOs of companies or have postdoc degrees, summum cum laude. These are not the winners. The winners are those who end up on the other side in a beautiful state. So this is one lady. I'm not going to read it, the whole thing, because it's very long, and there are many stories like this. But this is one lady who was hit by lightning and went to the other side. I found myself totally enfolded within the most beautiful, fluffy, pink and gold clouds. They were so magnificent. I was in awe of such beauty and felt such a deep sense of peace and a sense of total and complete love. J'ai senti une paix profonde et l'amour total et complète. This love was like the love I had felt before. She had had a previous experience. I felt every pore in my body, toutes les petites trous dans la peau, was open, and I was soaking in all of the love. I was basking in this beautiful love. I felt whole and complete and totally accepted. I had no idea what was happening. I was moving through these clouds laterally. There was no sense of up and down. I could feel this huge presence Allah, God, all around me, such a loving presence pouring love onto me and into me. It was a love I cannot explain. It was so beautiful, it still brings tears to my eyes even now. Okay? That's heaven. Okay? That's where we want to get to. And that's what we have to use this life to work at, so that on the other side we get to that place. Okay. How do we get there, Georgiana might ask? Well, we get there by serious effort and, of course, Allah's permission, but we have our role to play also. And we have to take this seriously. I mean, people take their jobs seriously, they take their degrees seriously, they take their families seriously, but not enough people, especially nowadays, are taking this work seriously. I got to finish on this note. I don't think this... I got a call, I'll just show you. I got a call from a psychiatrist from the United States who wanted to talk to me about her near-death experience. And she told me in this near-death experience, and she made a lot of research to find me, and she said in her near-death experience, she was falling down into a hole with jagged edges around it going very quickly. This was a practicing Muslim lady, okay? And she was falling down into this dark, cold hole with crevices all around, and all her friends and relatives were there, but none of them could help her. And this went on for a while, and finally she was praying and making dua, finally she began to see the light and go towards it. So when she called me up, I said, oh, that's very interesting. I said to her, I'd had other information. I said, I think you need more of a balance in your life. All your energy is going into your profession and your family and your social relations, but you're not giving enough energy to your spiritual development and to your relationship. That's why you were falling down. And she went ballistic. Okay? Pété les plombs on me. How could you say this, and you don't know how good a person I am, and I left a job for a less paying job to help people, and she went crazy on me. But I believe that my guidance and that her near-death experience was saying exactly this. So that's one form. We don't know, most of us don't get those experiences. But life will give us signs and teachings. God is constantly giving us teachings every day in so many different ways. Well, listen to this one. I'm not a Muslim fanatic, so don't get this one wrong, but this was very interesting. For the song, I have a friend who's a musician, and he was going to accompany me with his accordion. I said, that would be nice to be accompanied. Now, in Islam, there are problems with musical instruments. Some people don't believe you can have any musical instruments except for the handheld drum. I felt a bit uneasy about it, but I stayed with it. I came to his house today, okay, and his hand had become arthritic. I said, have you had this arthritis before? He said, no. This is the first time I've had this. Okay? For me, we discussed it afterward, but for me, this was a sign. We weren't supposed to do this. Okay? For whatever reason, he wasn't supposed to accompany me, and he didn't come today, but that's probably for something else. So life, this is another thing to leave. Life is teaching us, even about vocation, life is teaching us all the time. If you're in the wrong vocation, if you're in the wrong mission, you're going to feel miserable. When they asked the Prophet, how do you know what, peace be upon him, how do you know what your vocation is? He said, it's something that comes easily and naturally to you. So if you're feeling really miserable in what you're doing, no matter whether it's a job or a family or whatever, or friends, that can be a sign that you're in the wrong place. And the people who do really well in their jobs, in their missions, are people who have a passion for it and really enjoy it. Okay, but this is becoming hard to do for many different reasons. Okay, so in conclusion, Don't be fooled. Okay? There's all kinds of distractions and misinformation, bad advertising. Bawa used to say that the road to, we know in Christianity you say the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Bawa used to say the road to hell is paved with beautiful posters. It's going to be wonderful. So there are a lot of people that are being cheated by these posters. As I say it, one of the posters that comes to mind is going to medical school. There are parents who believe that if their children go to medical school, everything's going to be all right. They've succeeded. And when they tell me about it, especially for some reason the Pakistanis, when they tell me about it, I say, they say, oh, my son got into medical school. I say, my condolences. Mes condoléances. Usually they jump. So what? I said, yes. They said, why condolences? I said, it's very difficult, Every day seeing suffering. And if you don't believe me, come with me to McGill, to the continuing medical education conferences, and see what those doctors look like 20, 30 years down the line. And tell me this is what you want for your child. I said, Dr. Ibrahim, don't say that. You're going to discourage them. Who am I going to discourage? The parents are going to be discouraged, not the children. They have to find, and some people have a vocation for medicine, no doubt about it. And it's a great vocation. But people shouldn't be going in. That one of the reasons we have so much trouble with doctors. Too many people going in for money, social status, for all the wrong things. But some people have a vocation to take care of people. And then they'll be good at it, they'll be humane, and they'll be happy in it. But most of the doctors that I see look worried and miserable and burnt out. So beware of those posters. Get your MD degree, you're going to be happy. Get your MBA degree, get your postdoc in this or that. These are posters of delusion. It may be for you, but it may well not be. Bismillah. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun ala mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. So we begin and we end in the name of Allah, being grateful, and hopefully you've been able to gain something from this talk that you can think about. Try to follow up. Any one point, everyone gets a homework assignment. Take one point from the talk and follow it up, either by doing a Google search or by changing your behavior a little bit or trying something new. Take one point from everything. If you can't think of one, you better call me. And we'll find one for you and act on it. Do something with it. Don't just be entertained. That's another one of the illusions that life is about. Life is not about entertainment. Life is about working on getting it right. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Amen. Thank you all for coming. Thank Manira especially for all the work that she did.